One big question on everyone's lips this weekend, isn't there?
Is it coming home?
Is it finally coming home? Yes, the Three Lions will take on Spain tomorrow night in Berlin. Of course, it's the final of the Euros 2024.
Manager Gareth Southgate has said his players need to be tactically perfect if we're to beat the Spanish team, who impressively overcame France in their semi-final.
That's a lot of pressure, isn't it? Well, of course, the excitement is growing, and we are delighted to be joined now by former England manager and footballing legend, Big Sam Allardyce. How are you feeling about tomorrow, Sam?
I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm sure I will be by tomorrow. But I think looking at the situation and everybody's sort of thinking Spain are the favourites, I'm not that sure about that. I think they've played a very good tournament, showed some good skills, but I can see him in some weaknesses at the back if Gareth can exploit them. And of course, he has said that the players have to be tactically aware and on top of the game for this one. Of course, I also believe that Gareth has to be the same when it comes to how the situation is panning out and when he needs to change the tactics or make his substitutions. So they've worked in the last couple of games particularly well, and they obviously will need to work very well, I think, on Sunday.
Yeah, Sam, I was going to mention that actually. You know, it's all very well with Gareth saying the players need to be on their game, but also, you know, the manager does as well. And it's been argued we've had a fairly lucky run to the final. We had two draws in the group stage, a Jude Bellingham wonder goal to save us against Slovakia, a penalty that maybe wasn't deserved against the Netherlands, and now we're in the final. Anything can happen in a final, of course. But what do you make of all the stick Southgate's been getting up until now?
Well, it's never going to change when you're in that position, believe you me. I mean, no matter what you do, somebody's always looking at the critical side in terms of giving you some criticism. But I mean, I think he stood up to it really well. I think the players have stood up to it really well. I think it's united the players across the board. I think they've had a very good resilience, even though we would have perhaps wanted them to play a lot better, but they've showed huge resilience. And the most important thing, like every tournament and every game of football, you're in it to win it. And when you're playing not as well as you know you can and still getting through, however, by whatever method you get through, then that's fine. We hope it's going to be a cracking final. But more importantly, we just hope England win. That will do us all. I mean, in 2 or 3 weeks' time, we won't be worrying about how well England did or didn't play if they win the trophy. They'll all be heroes. They'll all be legends, along with Gareth. So let's hope that's the case. Winning the Euros on foreign soil for the first time for England will be one hell of an achievement for everybody.
Oh, it'd just be incredible. I really, really hope it happens. Sam, give us some insight. How are the players going to be feeling today? And as a manager, how do you try and control that level of pressure on the players and make them perform their best tomorrow?
Well, I think there's, very little they need to do in training. I think they've, energy-wise, they've exhausted themselves in this tournament. They've given everything they've got. They've had to play extra time in one game. And I think that downtime and rest has been one of the big things to achieve in the last few days. And I think then tactically they can make the team aware of what Spain are going to do, and then they've got to make Spain very aware about Spain's weaknesses. I think on the positive at the end, whatever the message is, I think at the end it needs to be a positive one against this is how you beat Spain. I think in between that, it's about how the players spend their own downtime, whether they spend it together in little groups, whether you're on your own, and how you get away and pass the time for the big game and not use up too much, not just physical energy, but mental energy. So it's going to be very important on this time between now and then that everything comes together and you don't leave anything on the day and don't come off with any regrets.
And Sam, just finally, what would it mean for the country in terms of lifting the mood, the optimism for our future, and also, should we get a bank holiday?
Well, I'll be very disappointed if we don't get a bank holiday. It's about time we did something for ourselves in England, and I think if we win it, we should all celebrate. And if we've got a headache on Monday morning, we shouldn't be we shouldn't be forced to go into work, no matter what the bosses think particularly the ones that don't support England. So I think that we need to celebrate it as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
It will be a great achievement, and it will lift the country. You know, I mean, it'll lift the country because, let's face it, it's not been the best for the last few years. It's been pretty much doom and gloom what's happening to people across this country. So the spirit will be lifted and has been lifted. And I have to say the support has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, I think there'll be plenty of people calling in sick on Monday if we do win. And also, Sam, just a final note, you are a legend. I've noted your various trophies in the background, but Manager of the Month for when you tormented my beloved Arsenal as Bolton manager. So thank you for joining us. You're a legend, as I say, and fingers crossed for tomorrow. Enjoy the game.